It's an attitude, a motivation, a deep-seated spirit. It's an inner strength to keep your feet planted firmly on the ground, no matter what presses against you. It's self-confidence. It's belief. It's a way of life. It's Fezek Athletics. Shop now at www.fezekeathletics.com to get your fitness gear now. Conquer your physique.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you may be listening to this podcast. This is the Men of Honor Podcast, episode 15, brought to you by Fezek Athletics. I'm Rock, and I'm here with my brothers, my brethrens. We got Frank, Greg, and Joey. How y'all doing today, fellas?
I'm good.
Good.
Very good.
Blessed.
Well, Greg and Joe, I know y'all wasn't here last week because, on the East Coast here, we got some storms. And, I know you guys was affected by it with the power outages and flooding and stuff like that. How are you guys making out now?
Just working through it, man. That's it. Like you lose some items and stuff like that, and gotta make new memories. That's all you can do. You know what I mean? Can't dwell on it.
What was it, in the basement?
Yeah.
Like a lot of stuff down there.
Mostly like just Christmas stuff and other stuff, and
Okay.
no electronics. We learned not to keep anything like electronics except for like one or two things, and so it's just kind of like, it's I don't know. I'm at lost words because I'm just ready to put the for sale sign up, but that's neither here nor there.
Now, did y'all lose power?
No, we didn't lose
Okay.
power. What happened was the actual sub pump just got overtaken. There was so much water. So when it gets overtaken, you got to have other pumps on and everything. So,
Got you.
Your background look like the salt.
Huh?
So your background look like the salt.
How you making out, Joe? I know you had lost power. You was out without power for a few days.
Yeah. So it was I keep saying 29 hours, but Virginia thinks it was longer. We're back up. We're good. I bought 2 generators, so anybody in the neighborhoods who lives by me knows that the power's not going to go out again now that I have generators, because there's no need for me to use them probably. That's my luck.
Joe gonna be waiting for it.
Yeah, right.
Go out. I got gas. I'm ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, being without power, man, for a couple hours is rough. So 29, 20, you get into the 24, 36, however many hours, man. That's
especially in the summer. Especially in the summertime with no air
and the heat, because it was hot those days too. It wasn't like it was cool. So.
Yeah, so I was actually amazed. I got to say this. My house, for some reason, stayed pretty damn cool, minus the fact that I could feel the moisture in the air. It was like 75 degrees, which everybody else in the house slept like babies. Not me. I slept for like 3 hours, but I was surprised that it stayed at like 75. So we got kind of lucky.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into some topics. Last week, me, Frank, and E. Shout out to E. I think he's busy tonight, taking care of some business. But we got into the topic. Waka Flocka was saying that black people should stop using the N-word. Greg, I know originally that was your topic, and you had some viewpoints that you wanted to chime in. So the floor is yours, bro. You got the point. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I listened to it, you guys were discussing it, but it was like no discussion about like the history of the word and where the word like came from, derived from, then ended up where it is now. And so the word, as far as I can read and decipher. Now I might be wrong about this, but I believe the original word was negis, and that is an Ethiopian word from I think they dated it first known use is 1594, means king, shortening the meaning of it. But that word was taken and turned into the N word that we know now. So, but my whole point is that word at this point, like when I taught my son what the N word actually is, I told him what negus is and and what the other two are. So, but I was like, you can, like, we won't ever be able to use the first one, the original word, because the other two, had, like, in my view, had poisoning. And like, I'm playing 2020 because I've listened to the pod last week and I was listening. And the thing it is like, one of y'all said, well, you can't legislate the word out. Like, how do you take the word out of everybody's vocabulary? The word wasn't in everybody's vocabulary. When you talk about GA, it wasn't in everybody's vocabulary until about early 90s when like NWA came out. And it became more and more commonplace after that. If you go back and listen to rap before about 91, 92, you really didn't hear people saying that. And then afterwards, it was a flood. You know what I'm saying? So you can legislate it out. You can sit there and go like, all right, hey, nah, that's no cool. Nah. You know what I mean? This is how it became popular to say. You can make it unpopular to say. So to me, I believe that there is a way that we can get rid of it. Because I mean, I always look at it like this too. A lot of our ancestors died, and that was the last word they heard. So that's why I like, y'all know me. I hardly ever use it. I hardly ever use it, say it, any capacity. So it to me is like something that just for what's happened in the past, we should like try our best to just abolish it from our vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? But that's my opinion. Y'all have your own. I don't know, I'm just looking at it from a historical point of view of it's been poisoned to the point where it brings nothing good to it.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, you know, what we were saying though is like, in order for it to, because right now that word with the GA, of course, is culture because it's in the music, it's in, you know, the TV show, like, you know, like, it's to legislate it out or make it uncool. That would take the people who, you know, the influencers, so to speak, for them to stop using it.
I think that's what Waka and Noriega was trying.
Yeah.
We're trying to do, because they're trying to raise the consciousness of everybody. Go, yo, like, we get it, but at the same time, look at the whole history of the word, and like whether you got to think about it. So if this word was from 1594, and that meant king, and transformed from that over to this, you know what I mean? And the GA word is only a baby in compared to everything that's supposed to be about the word. You're talking about like a 10-year span. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry, not 10 years.
Oh, okay.
20, like almost 20 years.
Plus, yeah.
So,
more than that, Greg. It's 90s. It's like 30 years.
All right, 30 years. But my point being is, it's so, I'm talking about from 1594 to what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's infancy stage. You know what I'm saying? So you could still go, hey, nah, like, this isn't the move. Like, I know for me, there's certain directors I won't watch, like Quentin Tarantino. I don't watch none. I have never watched one of his movies just because, like, he abuses that word, that word.
That was the director of Django, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I never watched his movie because he wants to throw one in everywhere. But, like, and it's just like, it's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So for me, it's a personal choice, but I just look at it like it's something that we can do if everyone takes a moment to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, if it became that popular, if for everybody wanted to say, you can make it unpopular for everybody to say just the same.
It's just like the clothing now. Baggy clothes is in now
Now
the
it's tight
skinny.
clothes.
So I mean, I get you.
And the other thing is, like, a lot of people that use it don't know the history of the word. They, like you said, they think it's culture. Versus if they actually looked it up, with everything that's happened with it and how it's been turned and twisted and basically like just mutilated as far as the word, like you probably stop listening. Most people when they know the totality of it, stop using it. Like Frank said, as you get older, you go, man, why am I using that?
Yeah.
But the problem is, like, kids are listening to people saying it so much that they think it's okay to say, and they don't have a historical context of it.
Okay. All right. Frank, you wanted to add anything to that?
I mean, like, I agree on to the point of legislating it out if you're gonna say, okay, not in rap music, not in movies and stuff like that, and not TV shows. I like that. That if you're gonna do it that way, but it's also, like I said before, it's gonna be hard when you go out into communities outside and you still hear the word. You know what I mean? Like, how are you gonna stop that? Is that what they're trying to do? Or they're trying to just stop and say, okay, not in rap music, not in TV shows, not
But
in
that's how you
scripts,
stop it.
and not in play. You're not gonna stop
But
it
that's how.
just
But that's how you stop it, though. That's
because
how once you.
it's been around for so long, and like you brought up a good point, meaning the original word means king, and if they find out that word means king, they might just say, okay, if I call my other brother a nigga, that meaning it's a king. You know what I mean? It's just not the spell correctly. You know what I mean? In
But
their
that
mind,
was.
that's how they're gonna think. They're gonna think, okay, if I research the word, okay, the word means king. So if I call you, you know what I mean, or not you, but I'm saying like the millennials now call another,
A
a brother a nigga. They're gonna be like, I'm calling him a king, just the same way he calling me a king.
But remember,
So
it's
gonna
neges.
be
It's not.
a
It's
very
not the
very.
er. It's the u.
Neges.
I'm talking about
Yes.
I'm talking about with an
Yes.
A. I'm talking about with an A, not with the er. If you go
No, but
into if you
even
talk,
No, he's
but
saying
the
it's
A.
Neges is like NE.
yeah, it's no, it's
Yeah.
NIGG
NEG.
And
No,
US or something like that.
no NGUS. But the thing of it
NGUS.
is, when you use that GA, that's not the original word.
Well, it's not the
You're
original
you
word, but
the original. You're
it's half
taking
of
the
the
word
original
of the
word.
E. Nah, because there's no like you're adding two G's and A,
But it's the
a
same.
second G and A.
But it's the same
But
thing
you
with the
twist it.
ER because what the Europeans did, they knew
But
the original. They knew the original word meant king, so they were like, you know what,
they
to
didn't know
make it
that.
to
They just knew
it.
everybody was calling each other that.
No, they knew
They were
that,
just
and they did the research. They had to because they went into. I mean, to go back in history, they went into the Great Library of Alexander, so they knew all our history. They knew everything. So they were like, all right, let's take this word, turn it into something bad. You know what I mean? And that's how the history started. They knew what that meaning of that word was. They
now
had
the
to know.
trouble.
Yeah, I've heard something similar to what Frank just said. I've heard something very similar to that. I can't prove it. This is not critical thinking right now, but
I mean,
I've
Greg
heard
knows.
something very similar.
Yeah, Greg knows the Great Library of Alexander, where we had all our history, all the facts. We had a lot of stuff in there, and I forgot the name of the guy, the European explorer. He went in there and took everything out of there and burned it down, and then took it back to Europe. And I think it's actually in the Vatican. That's what I think. That's what I think. But I mean, I like to not have it in, like I said last time, in movies, shows, scripts, and stuff like that. So we don't hear it as much. So
and
like you
it'll
said,
start weeding out of
it can
the
start
culture.
weeding out. Yeah, it can start
And
weeding out.
but that's my point. Like if you make it like the
You'll weave it
trendsetters
out of
make it up of it.
us, but
If you
like
make
the
the
low community
trendsetters,
college, that's going to be tough, man. Like the country area, it's going to be tough.
I think it happens because when popular culture, because like you said, it's
Hmm.
part of the culture.
Yeah.
People they try to do what they see and they try to mimic what they hear. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When those people catch on and go, yo, I'm gonna stop doing that.
Hmm.
I'm gonna be a leader for the people in my community, and they stop doing that. People follow suit because they go, yo, well, why do you stop doing it?
Yeah.
Because this, and this, and then that person goes tells another person. That's each one teach one, and at a certain point, I think it can spread. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just a
I mean,
healthier way.
yeah,
But
and
that's just, like
I think
it
it's a
can be
tough
done
task.
if
I mean,
everybody wants it.
Well,
it
yeah.
can, but it's gonna take a while. I mean,
But I'd
I
rather
know,
see that
like
than
the middle, like us. That's the 80s and 90s and 70s, and 60s. Like I know that generation is gonna completely. You know what I mean? They probably even use the word now,
Yeah,
but
because
like,
we, like you said, we got older. It's just
yeah,
like,
and I think like the millennials, like
yeah.
these, those low income. It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But I hope we get to the point where we don't use that word.
Yeah, yeah. Well, while we got a little break here, our other brother E, I guess, handled his business. He's finally joined us. How you doing, bro?
Everything's good. Everything's good. Thank y'all.
Mhm.
Appreciate y'all letting me be on the late come up.
If you didn't come in late, bro, it wouldn't be normal. So it's a normal thing then.
Better late than never.
Uh, Joe, did you have? Well, E, we're touching on the topic we spoke on last week, the N word and to stop using
Right,
it.
right.
Joe, did you have anything real quick that you wanted to add?
Not really. I mean,
We know you don't like the word. We know you don't use the word.
yeah.
You've been in our circle for the longest, so
Yeah, touching on a little bit, a word I haven't heard in a long time anywhere was young bull. I haven't heard that in a long time. Frank, I hear, I think, say it the most.
That's a
But-
Philly. That's a Philly.
that's a Philly. Yeah,
Yeah,
But
term.
either way, I mean, I was working in the stores, in the retail stores in Philly. I haven't heard that word in a long time.
yeah. That's
So,
Philly,
I mean, I think it's going to take decades, if not a century, but the word could go away.
Mhm.
It could.
Okay. E, what you think? You think it can go away?
I just think it depends on where you live at. It's a cultural thing where you live at, where your upbringing is, how you were brought up, where you were brought up.
Mm.
I mean, it just depends on the landscape, the environments. Like I said before, I said it again. It's just different strokes for different folks. Because you can't, like I said, you can have a whole bunch of guys in New York from uptown Manhattan, and they all call each other N-words, and they all Spanish. Are Spanish. We have dark skin, brown skin, light skin guys. They all Spanish speaking. They're all different parts of Latin America, and they all call each other N-words all the time. Every day of walks of life in New York, in Philly, in Jersey, in LA. It's just in the urban parts of the city. It just happens, but it also happens here in different parts in VA. If you brought up in Huntersville and you're
Shout
not
out
of
to
black
Huntersville.
descent and you happen to be born in Huntersville, then guess what? You are probably going to be using the N word more than once in different parts of the conversation because it was just something that you were in part of or culturally a part around, or it's almost like I said before, it's almost like it was brought up within the culture of hip hop for number one, movies number two, rap music, just the way of life for the urban lifestyle that people were brought up in. That doesn't necessarily have to be of black culture, white culture, or whatever. It's just the way of this musically. It came around, black folk came up with hip hop, and that's where it all started. But it just culturally
But it wasn't
evolved
always
into.
it wasn't always in hip hop until the '90s. So hip hop started in like '79, and it
That's
didn't
what I'm
start
saying.
taking it didn't start taking a hold until
And
like 92, 91
I
in
don't
that
know.
area.
I can't sit here and tell you in the early '70s they were calling each other the N word either. I can't tell you that. I don't
Like
know
Greg said, it started with NWA. That was like late
Yeah.
Well,
80s.
and
Yeah.
music, but but not in movies because I mean I
They
watch a lot of
barely ever
black
said it.
film, huh?
I don't think they really.
Yeah,
Ever
if
said
you
it,
watch
did
like
they?
Black,
Did
if you watch Rage of
Uh,
Harlem,
yeah,
you watch
Rachel
Rage of
Harlem, it was in
Harlem,
there. Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Caesar,
yeah. It was in
uh,
those.
Black
Tuck
Dynamite and
Turner,
all that
all
stuff.
those
They
black
call it
films.
N-word.
Yeah,
Black films, yeah. Because I remember I was watching Tuck Turner, the one with Isaac Hayes, and
Mm.
the
they
two
were
brothers
saying
was
nigga,
talking, and he was like,
my nigga.
Yeah,
he was like, yo, you want to shoot that nigga? He's like, nah, that's Tuck
yeah.
Turner. And more like, you know what I mean? So
So
they used it back in like this. I think that
early
was
70s,
like
mid
early
70s
70s in movies, yeah. Even
movies.
Foxy Brown,
So
Oh yeah,
again,
with
this is
Pam Grier. No,
But
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
this goes back even further than so
but you
to
talk,
Richard Pryor was using it in his movies.
Yeah,
but it
That's true.
wasn't pop. It
to
wasn't
say
popular in mainstream as it was now. And you talking
well, I
about black
mean,
exploitation films where they weren't getting paid as much as they should have been getting paid for those
right,
films. But
but
that's a
that's
whole nother.
but
That's a whole
but
nother
you
thing.
asking about
but that's
asking
what
me
I
a
was saying.
question. You asking me a question of something that's going to be if something's going to be a word is going to be exterminated from our vocabulary in a decade or however many years you're going to. I do not see that happening
But that's
anytime soon, especially with the new millennials that are coming in with music coming in, different forms of hip hop that are coming in, and different things and different. The hip hop culture is changing. So I feel like the N word is almost validation now that has to be said in there in
And
music.
that's
yeah.
the.
Not
But
just
that's the
But
problem.
that's the
That's
but
the
I
problem.
problem.
That's
but
the
I think
problem.
but
The
I think
problem.
it's a two-part issue. I mean, I think we all agree on it shouldn't be in movies, it shouldn't be in TV shows, and shouldn't be in music. We
Music.
all agree on that. But the second part
I agree. I agree.
is the communities, everyday living. Like that's gonna be the hard part. That's going to be
But
the hard part.
you got to
That's
remember, a lot of
my
these
point.
communities listen to the music, the movies, the
Yeah,
what's name,
he's
like
saying they're
so that
influenced by those, so
Right,
that's
but
why it's
see,
in
but
they
the
are
in the
as
heavily
community.
influenced with
right,
it.
but
So if
as
you get a framework of just getting that shut down, and they don't hear it, and then and
right,
next time they don't hear it, and all of a sudden
right,
it's like will it go away completely? No, but
but
will it
then
be
that's
more reduced? It'll be more taboo to say it out in public when like you just like you see you and you all know y'all be out and you hear that one
mhm.
person using it in public, you just like, man, really? Like, all right. But that's what it'll be like.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
out in public. But like, as E was saying, like these communities where you got somebody that's already been brought up on that word, and he's
Yeah.
still using it in that community, and young kids hear it and stuff like that. Like it's gonna like not hearing it. We can isolate that, but it's gonna take a lot to get
But
that
it's reinforced. And that's the thing. It's
something
not
that's gonna
taught.
be a while to take out.
But
I think.
It's not
I
I
mean,
just want
you hear that word everywhere. Like, I mean, if like especially now, like in the NBA in the bubble, and like because they're
You
so
know
close,
they
you can
use
pick up the
McCray.
sound. You can hear them saying like that.
Yeah.
That nigga all. But you heard them like every. It's just a word that's around.
Especially in the country area, you know what I mean? Down south, like those trap areas, like
it's just a word.
I think
That's
it can
around.
be done, and I do agree there, Greg. The way to weave it out will be, social media, TV, movies, rap music, stuff like that, to start weaving it out. But yeah, you're gonna weave out those certain people, but then you still have these other full of people that it has to, it's gonna take a while to weave out for them. I think.
And here's the other side of the coin. Is like I told y'all last week. It's like you got people that we got people that are in the suburbs, even still, whether it's black, white, Asian, whatever that were in the suburbs, and that word is still gets thrown around even in the suburbs because they hear it so much, and they like, all right, is this something that is common? A word that's commonly used, and they use it in two ways. It is to fit in with the other foods, it's to fit in with the crowds that they're around. They hear it so much in hip hop or music or in videos or whatever that it's like, okay, is this socially acceptable to be able to use this word in society? Can we use this word and it's okay, whether there's no matter the color of my skin, no matter the language that I speak, and like I had said, like I had asked you last week, does it matter whether I'm brown skin or of white skin or Asian or
Yes, that
Jewish?
matters.
it does, like for
No.
me,
that
I
definitely
can tell
No,
you
matters.
for
no,
me,
no,
I don't like it. I
I
don't
understand. But here's
He's
but the
saying like
question-
Spanish. He's saying like the Spanish race, they use that a
Yeah.
lot too. You
Right.
He
know?
just
I
said
know
Asians
they
too,
do,
though.
but
Like
like,
Asians can't. Like,
But I just saw a video the other day, an interview on Vlad TV, and it was some dude named China Mac or something like that. L.A. Cat, I think he was, or something like that.
Probably around. Yeah, he probably grew up around black people. So
Yeah.
And he grew up around black people, and he used the N word like it was like no issues with it.
Yeah.
But you would have thought that he was a black dude just on the
But
strip.
who-
If you would have heard him talk, you would have never heard. If you never saw him, and you just
you
heard
thought
him
he
talk
was.
on the
Yeah, you thought he
you would
was.
have thought he was a black dude.
Yeah.
You would have
but
thought he was a
that,
black
but
guy
that,
straight up.
but that comes to the interview. The interviewer should have. You know what I mean? I
He's,
know.
Exactly.
but Vlad is white. He's not gonna stop him. What he gonna
Right,
say?
but
Like, you
that's-
shouldn't use
yeah,
that. Like,
like,
if it's another black person, they'd have been like, yo, like,
Yeah, I know. For me, like I know if a white person or somebody of
I'm
another
just
ethnicity
trying
say
to-
something like that, I'm gonna stop them.
The point with the whole thing is like what we're trying to say is if the N word is going to be eliminated by trying to stop it through social media and trying to stop it through videos and music and so on, good luck, because there's too many other things that are happening to try. Too many people that are using it on such a different wide scale.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just ask you this: why can't people just be like have higher thought
I wish they
in a
could.
situation? No. I'm just saying, like, because everybody's just like, oh well, it can't be stopped, so just let it keep moving. Nah, you can stop it by telling somebody else, like, yeah, I don't use it no more, or like just finding another word to take a place.
Right.
The thing of it is like the hard thing to do is always like the right thing to do is usually the hardest. So if everybody knows that word shouldn't be
That's
used,
right.
the hardest thing to do is make sure you just ain't using it. So then after a while, when people see that you're not using it, they go, oh, they either might ask a question or they follow suit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right, but Greg, you gotta
Lead by actions. No,
right,
I'm
but
just
you know
saying,
it's hard.
You can't stop everything.
But yeah, so you know it's hard to talk to a young kid, and you're out, you hear him use that word with his friends, and you go over there and be like, yo, I don't think you guys should be able to use that word.
like, nigga, fuck.
Right? Like that's just.
I didn't say confront. Nobody said confront anybody. But it like if you like, all right, everybody here has young nephews or what's name.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
if you hear,
That's different. That's your people. Yeah,
I
you
know,
said
I
what
know,
you're saying.
I know. When I was younger, my uncle pulled me to the side, started talking like, "Hey, I know this is in the rap music now and everything. Shout out to Uncle D, appreciate it. Hey, this ain't cool. You know what I mean? Like, this is this. Broke everything down. I went and looked everything else up. Boom. All right, cool. Now I know. Now, I tell my kids, like, yo, when you hear these dudes talking crazy, if you listen to a rap song, it's entertainment. It's the same thing as putting on a TV show. It's the same thing as putting on Netflix. It's an act. It's this.
But yeah,
And the
I
problem is,
agree
it's
with
not
that.
taught. It's not taught to everybody. Everybody thinks, well, it's just the culture. It's just this, and it's just widely accepted, and it shouldn't be. And that goes
I
for
agree with that.
everybody across.
Yeah,
the
I agree because
board.
my son
Like,
he don't even use that word. He asks me, he's like, "Yo, why my friends always use that word?" And I'm like, "Well, you don't hear it when I talk to my friends. You don't hear it from me, so that's
You
why
is not normal. Yeah, my kids
it's
don't
not
use it
normal.
either.
You know, you're like,
so.
what is
exactly.
it? So, and his friends are like 13, 14, and using the word, and he's just like, you know what I mean? Like why, why they're using that word? So it's just like, and it goes back to what he was saying. It's like,
Where they're from, it's
upbringing,
that area.
and that's going to be
that's the
and
word
gonna
in
be the
there
hard
with that
part.
neighborhood. Yeah,
But see,
Yeah.
a lot of times they using it, and when they're using it crazy, they're using it because they weren't like they not around whoever would check them to use it.
It might be their
You know what I'm
parents.
saying?
yeah, their parents.
And I know,
Parents.
and that's the scary part is that, but even our own people don't know the whole history of the word. You know what I mean? So we can sit here and go like they'll know one part of the history, they don't know where the word actually derives from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just a point of you do it one step at a time, and you do a little bit by a little bit if it has to, but like a journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay, I like that.
For me, like even if it's just us five on the show going, hey, we're not going to use it no more, and like we're not going to stand for it no more, and not to say we're going to cause problems, but just hey, like we just not using it in conversation. And and most of us don't. So it's just one of those things where you just be more conscientious of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's where,
and I think that's we all agree on where
Yep.
anything social or anything like that, we shouldn't use it. I think we all agree on that part. But
I agree with y'all. Good points, my niggas.
Weaving it out is just going to take some time, but you know.
All right.
That's funk flex. That's it. You know that sound. That funk flex.
Nah, that was good points, Greg. I mean,
New York station.
We you know, you really broke it down, and you know, I hope anyone is listening takes note of that and weeds it out of their vocabulary. All right, something that just happened the other day.
I say 15% on my car insurance.
On your who?
Car insurance.
Car insurance. Kamala Harris being announced as the vice president, the Democrat vice president running with Joe Biden. African American woman.
Not African American.
Huh?
She's not African American.
she's multi-ethnic.
Is she?
She identifies
as African American.
No, her dad's Indian and her mom is from like what is it, Middle Eastern or somewhere, or some island.
So she don't have any African American in there at all?
No.
I'll tell you that's what
her dad's Indian. Look it up. I was just saying her dad's Indian.
On her is she identifies as an African American woman.
She identifies as like that's what she's been putting on.
And that's why I was arguing with this one guy. He was like, well, she's not African American. I said, well, that's tough because all right, my mom's Indian, my dad's black, but his grandfather or his dad is from Jamaica. So like, you know what I mean?
That's still of African descent. That still will make you
right.
Black.
But in her case, her dad's from India, and I think her mom is from like a Caribbean, like black, like.
Hey Joe,
But
if
you look at it, she look Ethiopian. You know what I mean? So it's like.
Yeah, but even though, but see, that's the same thing that like
Ethiopian they identify as African descent, right? Like,
I don't think she like. But I'm not saying she looked Ethiopian, but I think her mom is like from like.
But we don't know what we don't know what her mom's and this
but it
like
doesn't matter what island
she can have.
From.
Yeah, she can have
that
island
background. Had slaves on it. It's still she traces back to Africa.
Right, but I think what they were saying that her background is all Middle Eastern, like India, Middle Eastern countries.
Still same thing though. It can still have some African descent in there, even though she's in the Middle East. You know.
But I mean, I don't know. Unless we see her 23andMe. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't going
what is the Ancestry.com?
Yeah, my boy just did that, and you know, he's like,
I did it.
And I'm afraid they're using that to clone people, man.
He was like a lot of Russian or something like that.
I'm gonna say this. You know why it's good? Because like Michelle was able to tell the kids like, "Hey, I'm Irish. I'm this. I'm that." And like when the kids would ask me, I'm just like I didn't know, like you know what I mean. So after taking it, like like Nigerian.
Well, wait, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right, what else?
Like so,
what else you had in
Africa? Pick a country in Africa. That's where you from.
But the point being is like I could they have a list and a percentage of like what you are, and it's so like now I can look it up for myself too. I can look up the culture and look up like certain things. They actually give you a list of behavioral traits. And I was like, damn, I do that, John. Like,
so
it's funny.
It's a whole psychological.
But why we gotta? Why like that's crazy? Like we gotta pay for that to get that information. It's just crazy to me.
It's crazy, but at the same time, like but especially for us being robbed of our culture and our history, like to sit there and be able to tell our kids, like we'll tell our kids, like, no, I'm from Philly. Like that's like
from Philly. Where your family,
what are you?
I'm Philly.
Where your family originated.
And I understand like your point of view. Being full African American. That would be tough.
Being able to sit there and go like, hey, this is the code. This is something. Boom. You know what I mean? So
All right.
That's all right. We got sidetracked. Go ahead.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well,
So real quick, Britannica has her down as Indian and Jamaican descent.
There you go. Yeah.
so that's where she gets the African.
Now,
Yeah,
of course, that's Britannica. It only labeled 2. In Britannica as well, it said she was the first Asian, which Indians would be considered Asian.
Yeah.
Correct.
She was the first Asian to be in the Senate, and she would be the first or second
Original man, Asiatic black
African
man.
American in Congress, I think they said, or something like that. But I mean, you have to dig deeper than just what Britannica said. I mean, there could be another mix in there, especially from the Jamaican side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think
I mean,
that's on Bob's side. Yeah.
I guess the point is like, how do we feel about this multiracial woman
Ethnic.
being
She's gonna get it.
Joe Biden's running mate?
She's gonna get attacked just like Hillary did. All those cop cases in California, that's what they're gonna attack her on.
Mm-hmm.
You seen Fruitful Station, right? With
Mhm.
Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
That was her cops that
Mhm.
she let off. So I mean, that's what they're gonna attack on. So I hope she's prepared.
Well, I'm pretty sure they, like I say,
you know what I mean?
everyone gets attacked on the bull crap that they have done.
But that's
and
gonna affect
attached
the black
themselves. I don't know.
I put it like this. I listened to her town halls for the last year and a half, just like all these other Democratic candidates. It was like 10 of them, and most of the stuff she was saying, she aligned on. She was for like stuff that I liked. So, I mean, everybody has a resume. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, she was working. So, like, we can't be mad at her for doing her job. We're giving out mandatory minimums because that's what they're called, mandatory minimums. What we should be mad about is the people that we put in office that haven't, in like Congress and Senate, that didn't get rid of the mandatory minimums. You know what I mean? To make mandatory minimums illegal and let judges go by what they should do in a case-by-case basis. So, that being said, for me, like, will it hurt her? Yeah, because people are going to be able to. It's just like they're going to be able to flip whatever they got to flip to get to her. You know what I mean? But that's just politics in general, especially if you go on in the presidential election. So, but is she well thought out most of the times? Most of the time she is. Most of the time she's on point. And
She's seasoned.
like,
she is seasoned. She is seasoned.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's gonna be. They're gonna have to, just the same way they attack Hillary on her on wikis and her stuff that she did, and was it Invincible, or one of those countries? I forgot what it was.
But I don't think she has a long rap sheet like Hillary. Hillary had a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
like, her resume isn't as long as Hillary's as far as like.
But I think that cops thing is going to really hurt her.
I mean,
or hurt their campaign, and that's what Trump is going to probably use.
I don't know. I mean, with the current state of the country and Trump being in office, I don't know. I don't know how the black vote is going to swing. I don't know if people just going to go out and vote just to get him out of there.
That's the anger vote. It's going to be an anger vote,
which is. Who else you gonna vote for? Then you gonna vote for him, or you gonna vote for Biden?
Pedophile.
One or the other. E, what you think? E, what's your thought?
So this is like the most, probably the most frustrating of topics we've had so far, because it's to me, like, she is probably the people's choice, right? Let's be honest, because everybody wanted her to be one because she was a female, African American, so on and so forth. But it's like we knew that she was going to be the obvious choice. But was she the appropriate choice? Could she do the job as a vice president? Is Biden really the appropriate choice?
But she was. I think she was an obvious.
A
Yeah,
lot
I don't
of
think she
people,
was
a
obvious.
lot of people,
It was a
lot of
couple.
Nah,
saying,
They was gonna go woman.
I mean,
They was
hold
J-Lo,
on,
gonna.
hold
J-Lo.
on. There was a lot of people out there that were pulling for her and saying that she was the
No,
most
I thought it was
popular
going to be the
choice
other
to ride.
lady.
Rice. What was her?
Yeah,
Hey Joe,
But
what was the other
it
lady's
was,
name? Rice. Sarah
See,
Rice, I think.
I thought
My bad. E.
me personally, I thought it was going to be Warren, just because they could have got all the young progressives, and they could have got them to pull in.
But
was
is
that the
You know
guy
what
she?
I
that was
mean?
But
at
Like,
guns?
like what's the
Was that the
name?
guy that
Huh?
against guns? Was that the guy that against
Nah,
guns?
nah, Elizabeth Warren. She's the senator.
Oh
it
no,
was
no, no.
gonna
What's the
be
name?
a
But
female.
she's
Yeah, it was
more,
gonna be a
but she
female.
was she was more
the
she
joint
was more
vibe with the glasses.
progressive. And if they were trying to unite the whole party, that would have been the way to do it. Kamala is not she's progressive, but she's not as progressive as Warren. Like Warren's extreme, so she's
Okay.
kind of like middle. Like, you know what
It's
I
a
mean?
security black votes. That's what that was.
Yeah. All right. E. All
And
right. E. Go
now,
ahead. E.
Sorry.
so at the end of the day, like what's what I'm finding out, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Now, Trump is like all on the Kanye wagon tip about Kanye like being on, the whole political thing, right? And I know we talked about this already, but is there's two sides to this. Is Kanye trying to get more votes for Trump, and that's why he was trying to be on the
Yes,
whole
that was a
political run?
ploy. He already said that.
Okay, that was a ploy.
That was a ploy.
But
Yeah.
he's
That
not
was
going to
number
run for
one.
president. It's too late.
No, that was to
No,
take
I
votes
got that.
away. That was
That was
to
boom.
take votes
Right.
away
That's the
from
side.
Biden.
And then
Yeah.
the other side is was like, so who? So now that we know that Ms. Harris is going to be the vice president, like, do we think that that's going to give the? Because I feel like Biden is tough, but he's not like he doesn't have the grit, and I feel like Ms. Harris comes in with a little bit more of a grittiness to her because she's got the prosecutor background to her. So she may be able to come in with that like you saw the first day she got on they got together. She went in like she basically looked like she was at like on the like in a courtroom, and she just starts attacking. So what does Donald do? I'm just gonna talk about how bad you talked about Biden. So I feel like if them two come up with a game plan, and of course Ms. Harris comes out there with the prosecutor plan and the intent to attack, you may have a chance. But is that going to win over votes and
I,
and get everybody out in arms to get Trump out of office? Because to be honest with you, as much as we want Trump out of office, there's a lot of people that want him in office. There's a
that's what I'm
shit
saying. It's
ton of
good. I would be
people.
surprised they get reelected. I would be surprised.
Of
People that
course,
want him
because he
in
got
office.
obviously people want him because he got
A
elected
lot
the
of
first
people
time.
that
So
want him in there. So I don't know
yeah.
if it's enough to get. I don't know if that was. I don't know if she was probably the proper person to get us to say, okay, that's going to get us over the hump. I feel like Elizabeth Warren might have been the better choice to get that side in.
Is
Not a
Elizabeth
bad
Warren?
choice.
Was she African American?
Who?
No,
No, she's not.
That's
Who?
the
Like I said,
that's the key right there. She's African
Who?
American and she's a woman.
Who?
So Kamala Harris. So
come on, man.
she's going to secure. They're hoping she secures the
The black
woman
votes.
vote and the women's
And the
vote.
black vote.
The
And the black
women
vote.
and the black vote. So if they get that, Trump can't win. If they
That's the thing.
solidify
That's
the woman vote,
So
he can't
Trump's
win.
got the black votes.
if he
Of course,
if he gets
according
those if he get
he's got a black vote.
if he gets those strong states.
Kanye's
Yeah.
only black vote he got.
hold on, don't sleep because you got to think about it. She is.
That's what I'm saying. Don't sleep on this news, man, bro.
Chill. She's multi-ethnic. So while they're trying to also secure the black vote, they're also trying to secure the Asian vote too.
Yeah.
Don't think that they're not thinking about everything as far as like
Respect,
what they can get.
Yeah.
So if they can get Asian, black, boom,
Burger,
you
one
locking
stone.
up a huge majority of ethnicity, brown people to get out and vote for them. So it's not.
I hope, and let's not. I hope for the sake of the country that they're able to do whatever they need to do and get everything squared away. And I hope she does a good job. I mean, she has a good track record. I mean, there's some things that everybody has.
That's who you voting for?
Black households and that they have a
Well, who you
Nobody's
voting
perfect in
for?
all.
Is that who you voting for?
Nobody has a perfect record in
Who you
No.
voting for?
Who you voting for?
Nah, it's not a good question.
I'm not the one to talk about politics on the air, but I'll tell you this, man.
You
I just
did.
want somebody. I
know.
to talk about. I'm not want to talk about politics about what I want to
Yo,
vote.
hit the Oscars music. Hit the Oscars music.
So all I'm saying is, I just want to wrap that shit up.
Joe, you got anything you want to add?
Me and Joe on the same board though. Me and Joe on the same board on that one.
Joe, you got anything?
Now,
Eric, I had nothing to do with that, dude.
He always was say Joe always be like, I got nothing to do with that.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm all about moving forward. You know, even if Biden and Harris end up being the worst thing for this country, either way, it's a step forward. You know, we got to take small steps. First step for miles, right? Right, Greg. What was you saying?
Journey of 1,000 steps is ours to one. You start with one step.
So you make a change. I mean, there was plenty of business people in the presidential, candidacy for many years. We added a half black guy, this last few rounds, and then now we're going to add a woman, and a minority woman. So it's a step forward. Bottom line, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy road. I'm not saying the next round there's not going to be another white male, but I think we need to change it. I think it needs to happen. Bottom line, it's I don't know. I don't even care about the politics. They don't give a shit about us. But I care.
Well, that's obvious with this most recent stimulus package they're supposed to be.
And they said they were not supposed to get it.
They on vacation.
They shelved it. Yeah, I know. To September.
September.
Right, like
the
country in need, but they go on vacation. Right?
Nah, we good, y'all. We'll see it. We'll see it in a couple weeks.
Like y'all good. Y'all don't need any money. Y'all good. Y'all don't need to stop evictions and foreclosures. Even though the economy is shot at all hell. Y'all good.
Yeah, the economy is bad, but the stock market's doing good.
Yeah, because you see
exactly.
but you see what Trump just said, that he's talking about the capital gain. So the stock market is going to shoot up because if you don't have to pay the capital gain tax, he's setting it up for himself and his other.
No, he's not setting up for himself. He's setting up for people
that.
No,
he's setting up for himself. He's definitely setting up for himself too, Frank.
No, he's setting up to the people that are business mind, thinking if you got money in the stocks, you're gonna be okay. Joe, Greg, you got money in stocks, so you're gonna be okay in the long run.
So you don't think Trump got money in stocks?
He got money in stocks.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he got money in stocks. That's what I'm saying. Anybody that has money in stocks, like that's where you're gonna make your money at. Like if the economy go down, you got money in investments. That's where you're going to make your money at, and that's what I hope people are gaining from all this pandemic and all this presidential is start investing, start doing stuff on your own, so you can put stuff in place. Stop relying on the government. You keep relying on the government, you're going to be the government ain't doing nothing for me. Government ain't doing this for me. Government ain't doing that for me.
If you don't have a job, how are you going to invest in something? Where you getting income from?
You start something that's what I'm saying. Like this pandemic,
you can't start
how you don't got income? Like where you get income from?
There's so many different things that you can start. You can start a YouTube
without
channel.
money.
You can start a YouTube channel. You start the YouTube channel. You get a certain subscribers. You start getting paid. You put stuff on Google ads. Per clicks, you get ads. There's so many ways to make money.
What are you going to do on YouTube that bring people there to get ads?
There's so many other ways to make money without getting a job. People don't know that because they don't want to, like Greg was saying, people don't want to research it. People don't want to go out and research that. People want stuff to be handed to them. Here's a job. Here's a 9 to 5. Here's this. Here's that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the thing with this presidential. like people don't realize, and I follow this guy called 19 Keys. Like people need to start investing, start making strategy plans, so when stuff like this happen, they can be okay. And I know Greg, Joe, I don't know, E or Rock. Like once you start investing into like in stocks and you see the stock market,
stocks.
Yeah, and you start seeing them, you're like, okay, I'm gonna be okay. You know what I mean? And a lot of people that's investing, you know, they're looking at those stock market prices going up. Like, all right, you know what? Just keep going. You know what I mean? So,
hold on. Let me just say that. Let me
go ahead. Go ahead, Greg.
all right. Thank you, Joe. I two things that he was doing self-service on though, right? Because he is doing self-service.
Exactly.
Number one,
I agree.
Number one.
I agree with that. I would too.
I'm just saying.
Same
like,
thing as Bush did.
He's making sure.
All of them did.
He's making sure that he's trying to make sure that mail-in ballots don't happen. As a person that works in the USPS, he sent his buddy that has
he talking a lot of crap with y'all.
like ties to FedEx, UPS, through socks and all this other stuff to run the postal service, and he's trying to now. I've been in there for 14 years. We've never delayed mail. You know what I mean? Unless we just couldn't carry it because of blizzard or whatever. You know what I mean? He's telling us to do, hey, cut mail off. Don't take it. Leave it for tomorrow. So he's trying to set it up so it's okay that ballots don't get there to where they have to go.
We know that what happened in Florida.
But what I'm saying is, if you can make it legal beforehand, oh no, that's been the business practice since September. What do you mean I was trying to screw everybody? That's how you make that happen. You don't start in November and do it. You start in August. You know what I'm saying? But he's very self-serving about that. So I'm just saying, I was just rebuttaling that point when you said he was trying to. That maybe that thing was for investors, but if it did. He ain't doing it unless he's going to profit.
He benefits from
that's
it.
all. That's all presidents. That's all. When all presidents, when their term is about to be
up,
that's all. Bush did it.
Clinton did it. That was obvious. Bush
did it. Clinton did it. I mean, when you start getting out of term, you start to put things in place so it can benefit you if you're out of the presidency.
This is the first president that actually tried to sabotage the USPS for this. No other president has touched the USPS.
Greg, don't mess with them.
But that's his strategy. I mean, that was his strategy. You know what I mean? Nobody said anything about when Bush went about the oil. You know what I mean? Nobody said.
Yeah, we did. We knew what he was doing.
No, I'm saying
knew what he was doing, but like,
I'm saying the U.S. is not going to say, "Oh, don't talk about the U.S. Postal." You know what I mean? They're not going to say that.
No, he's a president. They can't tell. He's not going to listen to them anyway.
But he's saying like, I don't want to help fund them, so this way they like so. What the rumor is, what I think it is, but it's a whole other thing. Is if we don't get this cash infusion, we won't be able to do everything as far as with the mail ballots, right? Mm-hmm. So his thing is, at first he was like, we ain't gonna do it because of Amazon. They got to raise the prices on Amazon. They get his buddy in charge. Then he's like, well, I'm just not going to do it. He came out and said this today. I'm not going to do it because I don't want the mail-in ballots to get done.
Yeah, he's saying if they don't want them to get messed up and all. Yeah.
Well, no, he was just like, if they don't have the money, they can't do the mail-in ballots. Mm-hmm. So basically, he's saying like, I can sabotage the whole election if I make sure they don't get no bread. Right. That's Joe said. Whether you like Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, it doesn't matter because to have somebody that's that juvenile and petty is just like if you don't vote in this election, like
and he's also tied to Jeffrey Weinstein and all them. So yeah,
well, a lot of people are.
I know. All right, let's end on something that we like to talk about. Frank, not so much you this year.
You can talk about soccer.
The NBA, the playoffs about to start. Greg, I know you're not excited anymore with Ben Simmons going down. E, I don't know. I know you probably was never excited because the Knicks ain't never smelled the play.
Fire Brett Brown. Thank you.
But I mean, it's a lot of good stuff because like Dame is hooping, like Devin Booker is hooping.
Get into the second round and go home.
I don't know, man. The Lakers don't look too strong. They can't stop guards. You know what I mean? That can handle and shoot.
Tell Dame Dollar that Steph said he looking for him next year. It was Dame Dollar and CJ McCollum getting lit up by
Steph, KD. It was.
KD
well, man, that's too many weapons, though, man.
It was Stephen Clay versus.
But you got KD on the court.
Yeah.
KD wasn't playing. Remember, he was.
He got hurt.
He wasn't.
Did he get hurt
in that series? Yeah, he wasn't playing it. He wasn't playing in that series. That was his straight Steph.
Yeah, he came back in the finals, right?
But he got hurt in that series, right? It was that series.
He didn't play that series. He got hurt in the Houston series.
And then he came back in the finals, right?
Okay.
He tried to come back in the finals and got hurt again.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Well, who y'all think? Who's the favorite? Who y'all got winning the chip? The Lakers. You think they're gonna get it together?
Yeah.
Okay. Lakers.
Yeah, they.
Who's gonna beat them?
The Clippers got
They resting. They know exactly what they doing. They resting.
Okay.
All right.
E, who you got? E, who you think?
West Lakers.
Okay. Going with LeBron.
That's because he's LeBron. He's LeBron tonight.
Me and Greg were trying to figure that out earlier. I'd probably have to say
Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah, Bucks.
Toronto could beat them.
Who?
Toronto could beat them.
Toronto's tough. They got a team. They're a team.
I don't want to see Kyle Lowry there. I don't want to see Kyle Lowry there, but yeah.
Wow.
Joe, who you got, Joe?
I don't watch basketball.
Joe, who you got, Joe?
I don't watch basketball.
Pick one.
Like,
I don't even know who's in.
Oh, shit.
I don't want to see the Bucks. Only reason I don't want to see the Bucks because it's like, Giannis don't. He ain't got no like. It's not fun to watch.
Yo,
he's just so long, and he just trying to step and bully somebody and bump him, and he looking at the ball like, wow, you know what I mean? Like he wanted to fight the ball. I'm like, yo, you try to take a step from the 3-point line to their lower point. Like, I can't stay here.
Did you see him headbutt the guy?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Like, he only got one game. I'm like, how's that not 2 games? Like, you woke up and you just slammed your head into him, like
right, because he tried to step from the 3-point line. He tried to do a Euro step from the 3-point line to the baseline, and the ball was literally standing there like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a charge. Like I don't want to, because he can't. If you double team him, you know what I mean. He's not like a KD.
He doesn't have moves where he's not going to cross you over and pull up on the jumper.
Right.
He's not showing any skillful moves. He doesn't have skillful moves.
I wouldn't say no. He has skillful moves. He has footwork. You know what I'm saying? As far as getting into the lane.
But we're not just talking about football. We're talking about 2-dribble pull behind him. You know what I mean? Step back. Like he doesn't have that.
Good footwork is a skill. To say is not a skill.
That's why I say skillful moves, plural.
Okay. All right.
Plural.
In combination with.
He's like a LeBron. Like those balls they're just gonna dribble past you, try to dunk on you.
Look at Rock's face.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
You see his face? His face was like
Right now, Rock making that Arthur fist.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man? Bro, I'm out, man. That nigga's tripping.
Did we just say we're not gonna use that word?
Drop off.
Did we just say we're not gonna use that word?
When you say shit like that, it needs to be used. All right, this is something we like to end on. Like, I know we ain't have it in the topics, but Frank, you had put something on the you put it on the group. You put it on the group chat.
I did.
The movie that's coming out.
Oh yeah, you see that, Greg?
What, the Jamie Foxx one?
No,
Judas and the Black Messiah or something like that.
Yeah, it's the Black Panther Fred Hammond
story.
Yeah.
What channel is that gonna be on?
It's coming to the theater. He said which?
Ain't no matter, movie theaters open?
Yeah, they are. AMC opening up the 20th.
16 cents.
I ain't going to no damn movie theater.
And then they're gonna have drive-throughs. I think they're supposed to be building drive-throughs too.
Yeah, it might come out. It might come on Comcast, but it's called Judas and the Black Messiah, and it's about the story about Fred Hammond, Hammond, and it has the dude from Get Out. Remember he played in Atlanta too. I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too.
He played in Atlanta and Get Out. Well, they both played in Get Out. Remember the main character?
Yeah.
He's playing Fred Hammond. So I think it's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be a good movie. It was long overdue. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great film. I can't wait for that one and Tenet to come out. Tenet's going to be a good movie. I can't wait for that to come out.
That's coming out soon, right?
It's supposed to. They keep pushing it back. It's the Christopher Nolan. It's with Denzel's son. And it's kind of like the Inception movie. So I like movies like that. So I think that's going to be pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well.
No. You like Inception, Greg?
Why you looking like that?
Yeah, you like Inception?
Nah. I'm all right.
You never seen it or you don't like it?
I watched a little bit of it.
Hold up, Greg. Don't you got to drive in up where you at?
Driving movies? Yeah, it's two up on me.
Okay.
Oh, is it? You got to send me the address.
Yeah. All right.
They open now?
Yeah, I don't think the drive-in is closed. Yeah, the drive-in is then closed.
I think so. Hold on, let me ask Michelle.
I think they're talking about building more, Frank, like building something back up this way.
They open.
Oh, so yeah, send me the address. Yeah, they should have never shut them Jones down. Like I grew up on those.
Google Becky's driving.
Who?
And Becky's driving, and then in Walnutport, and then the other one is Schneekweiler.
Okay.
And Trexler Town.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I grew up on drive-in movies. That's all we had in Cali.
I've never seen a drive-in movie.
What?
They used to have one right there in Warrenton.
Yeah, where the big theater at the 22.
And then they closed that one down.
I've been to drive-in movies. Never saw the movie.
I knew that's where we was going. Y'all fell for that one.
All right. Well, that was a good one, pod. Good pod, fellas. Good pod.
COD, Greg? COD?
Nah, I'm about to finish watching the last 2 episodes of Umbrella Academy season 2. It got good.
Superheroes.
It's like this group of kids that were born on this day, and at the beginning of the day, their parents weren't pregnant. Their moms weren't pregnant, but by the end of the day, they were born. And this eccentric billionaire, went and paid the parents to keep the babies and raise them all. And it's a quote unquote umbrella academy for them to use their superpowers to be superheroes.
What's that on?
But Netflix.
Okay.
Netflix. It's a little out there, but it's good. It's definitely good.
All right. Well, good pod, fellas.
All right, gentlemen.
You guys have a safe week, man. Want to give a shout out to everybody listening to YouTube, Spotify. Where else we on, man? Apple, Anchor. We all over the place.
Invest in your stock market.
There you go. Good closing words.
At the right time.
There you go. All right, fellas. Have a good week, man. It's the Been On Podcast. Signing out, baby.
That's it.
See you guys.
Later.